Well, hey everybody, I'm Windexing my red truck because it has been in my shop for a little bit, and if I don't Windex it, all the dust and stuff sometimes will make my paint separate. So I have my little red truck that we're doing tonight. It's on my Lazy Susan. It's a really easy piece as far as...
Hi, Miss Debbie.
You don't have a lot of colors on this guy, okay? You just have the basic red, green, yellow, white, and black. So we're going to paint this. I'm going to paint this tonight and kind of show you. If you decide, now we have this as a blank, just as the way you see it, and we also have it as a blank with lights.
Hi, Debbie.
Of course, I'm only going to paint it one time. There's no use in painting one with lights, one without. It's the same tutorial. And you can find these tutorials after I finish them, like in the next couple of days. I'll load these up to YouTube. They'll stay on Facebook. And I will also put them in the listing on our yardarterus.com website. So if you're looking for tutorials, if I did them in Painters in the Making, not Academy, but Painters in the Making, you can find them in 3 places.
Hi, Pam.
You can find them at yardarterus.com on the listing. You can find it on YouTube. And of course, you can find it in the Facebook group.
Hi, Judy.
Because I know that some of you guys sometimes have a hard time finding what you're looking for. And I get it. It's human nature that nobody really wants to go look for any, or I don't. But Facebook, YouTube, Yard Under Us. That's where those videos can be found, okay? I'm just doing a little bit of gray shading on my tail light right here. Not a lot.
What kind of brush is that?
This is a flat tip American Painter 12. 12's kind of small, but I like that. And I'm not trying to put a lot on here, just a little bit, just kind of going around like that. Then I'll come up here, give him a little bit on this windshield back here. And maybe a little bit right there. So,
Hi, Joanne.
Flat tip brush. And remember, when you're shading, the whole idea behind shading is to angle the brush when you dip it in the paint.
Hi, Sarah.
So, for example, on our tree right here, we got our tree. If you do this, you'll never shade very well. Do not do that. Do this. Corner, just like that.
Joanne, are you Joanne or Joan? Hi,
There we
Marcel.
go. And just kind of go down around that perimeter, come back, and I'll just lift that up. When I want my tree branch to be, what is the word, graduated here, I just lift the brush up. So come up here and lift up off that board.
Thank you for sharing, Miss Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, I was
Yes,
in
Joanne.
the Academy earlier today, showing folks how to order stencils online if they want. Some people I did a stencil thing in the Academy, and some people want to order stencils. And it was kind of interesting today because I was going live on my desktop version, and my computer, my desktop version, I wanted them to see my screen and not necessarily me. But my computer is set. I have an IT company that does a lot of work behind the scenes, and they're the only ones who could share the screen. So I've got to go get that fixed because I need to be able to share my screen. So if you're in the Academy and you didn't catch that tutorial, go check it out. I did it a little bit ago. So in just a little bit of time that we've been on, I did my shading with my dark green. I'm going to do some more shading, and over here you can't see it, but I'm just cleaning out my brush. I'm using the same brush just because I don't feel like washing a lot of brushes. And I just come over here like this.
You have such a steady hand with
Yeah.
that. Hi, Julia. Or Julie, I'm sorry.
I think the steady hand thing is a lot of practice, probably more than anything. And then what I like to do is I'll give it just a little bit of brush stroke here, there. Okay, that's all I'm going to do.
And
on
why
my
does
belly.
my eye like that so much?
Because it gives it color, it gives it shape, not shape, form, and it basically almost makes it look like it's a real object.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what you're trying to create, is that, you know, that illusion of it being a real object. I mean, we all know it's not, but that's what the desire is.
It brings it alive, it feels
It
like.
really does. It really does. And right here, I'm just going to make a big long swipe up under here. And I'm going to come up here and do the same thing. I'm going to meet that in the middle and just do a couple of brush strokes like that.
Hi, April.
all the way around. And you can see I've got my paint on my brush, and I'm always dipping at an angle. I'm always dipping like this. Not that. I can't say that enough. Not that. This. Dip like that. Corner. Corner. That's the corner. That's where all my paint is. Okay?
And then straight up and down when they're making the stroke.
Let me come over around.
Hi, Bonnie.
Come around
Hi,
this
Lou.
way. Now I'm also going to, I can see I got a little bit shy on the paint over here, so I'm going to go back over there. And I'm going to go around right here on my windshield. Okay? My strokes are not perfect by any stretch. As long as they look good, you don't need perfection, because you're going for a handmade item. Okay? See, that's not perfect, so I don't worry about that.
And in this particular blank, it does have the etching in there.
Yes.
For the lettering.
Follow that. Yeah, I'm going to do that tonight on this live. I'm going to show y'all how to do that. Because a lot of times people really like lettering, you know, usually some sort of Christmas message on your piece. Now what I would do while I have this, I would just kind of come around my tail light a little bit up here, like that, and maybe go up here, up around that windshield, and just kind of give it some...
Hi, Becky.
I think I'm good there, y'all. So really, all of my shading is done. That part's done. I'm going to pick up my script liner, and I'm going to pick up this white paint, and I'm going to put a lot of paint on there. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to cover up my letters and the CNC lines.
And again, it's straight up and down. The mistake I was making with this, y'all, is I was trying to aim. I was trying to push the brush like you would a pen or a pencil.
Yeah, you can't do that.
And that's not the way you do it.
This just lays right there on the board. No pushing. If you're pushing it down, it's only because you want a wide stroke on purpose. And in just that little time, I've got my M there. But notice I'm covering up the CNC lines as well as the inside of the CNC lines. This is a guide. It doesn't mean it has to, you have to follow it perfectly. I actually follow it and go over it. You can go in the middle of those CNC lines and not touch the CNC lines.
Hi, Kim.
I find that harder. I find it easier to cover the CNC lines. And again, this is my guide. Right? And I've got my script liner. Now, I've got this white paint on here, and it's got a lot of water in it. I had to water it down because it was getting really gummy on me. And it's hard to paint with gummy paint that's stuck together.
Hi, Dan.
You really need to put some water in there and make that paint liquid enough that you can move it easily. There we go. I'm going to come back and meet it like that. I'm going to call Mary a success. M-E-R-R-Y. There we go. And I'm going to come over here and do Christmas. And I think if Connie's holding that pretty good, you can see I have a lot of paint on here. But that's what I like, y'all. Now, let's say you paint this and you don't really care for it, or you didn't get enough paint on it the first go around, paint over it. Just don't change it. Just go back, put some more white paint. Let it dry. Go back and put some more white paint. You know, make it look a little better. Sometimes I come in the morning and I look at my letters, and I just have to put more paint on them because after they dried overnight, they're not quite opaque enough, I guess. Especially with the white trying to cover red.
Absolutely.
So sometimes in the morning I'll come in here and I'll just add a little bit more paint. I don't necessarily repaint the whole thing, but I'll just add paint. There we go.
And for those of y'all that just came in, the letters are going to already be etched into this blank.
This has
So
got a
you just
little
have
heart.
to follow. Thank you, Miss Debbie, for sharing everywhere.
Do a little heart on the dot of the I, y'all.
Ah,
Just a little heart shape.
that's my kind of peeps.
Yeah. And then I'm going to do my crossbar on my T.
Kim Simon said she usually goes over her letters twice.
Yes, I can see that, Kim. Sometimes I get up in the morning and I look at my letters and I'm like, they need a little help. And then sometimes I don't think that. Sometimes I'm like, no, they're good just the way they are. It really depends on how much paint you get on them the first go around.
And we love to hear if you are doing letters, we like to hear
what works for you.
what your method is.
Yes.
Hi, Kathleen.
Because at the end of the day, no matter how many, Bruce and I were just watching. Part of the reason I wasn't on earlier is my brad nailer, my little pin nailer, is not working, and so we were on YouTube a while ago. He and I trying to get this pin nailer to work. I haven't had it that long, and so no matter how many videos you watch, it's one thing to watch a video like you are watching me. It's a whole other thing to go and do it yourself.
There is.
So I get it. I totally get it. But I will say, watching videos has really helped Bruce and I learn a lot of things.
I love YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Learn a lot of things. And I'm learning Lightburn, which is the software that runs our new laser. And so YouTube has really been my friend lately. And so sometimes, you find good videos, and sometimes that are real helpful. And it's not that there's bad videos, it's just that sometimes you can't find the one that's going to help you with the particular problem you're having that day.
But just because you know a software does not mean
you know
everything.
everything.
How to teach it.
Well, that's true. That is the truth. Like today, I got on and kind of just showed everybody in the academy how to do stencils online. And I don't think it's hard, but I've done it for 20 years. So it's easy to, if you've done something, it's easy to skip a step because you don't think about it.
Right.
So I was having to kind of slow down today and say, okay, wait a minute. Make sure I covered this. Make sure I covered that. Y'all know how that goes. And it's easy to leave that out. And that's not going to help your audience. Your viewers need every detail that they can get. I think sometimes with videos, honestly, y'all, whoever's making them doesn't understand the difference in what I would call important versus unimportant details.
Right.
They'll give you 20,000 details and none of them are really that important. And they could have just given me 5 details that are.
Or they'll talk for 20 minutes before they really get to the meat of...
And it's like, come on, people.
This red on white, or white on red, is so beautiful.
It is really pretty. Now, Connie, I want you to kind of show them right here. I know everybody thinks my strokes are perfect. That is not perfect. It's just not. And that does not worry me one iota.
But that's the beauty of handmade. We're not expecting a perfect. We're expecting original.
You want something that looks good, but you don't want something that looks like it was just done on a machine. So look at all of that, and you can look at my brush strokes. They're not that even on some parts, and all of it together, though, looks good.
It does.
Mm-hmm. And that's really all you care about is something, you just want something that looks good. Nobody's going to come in from your driveway or your yard and go, this line is not quite right.
They probably won't even notice, honest to God.
No, they won't. Mm-mm. They'll be too busy telling you how pretty it is. And I just take that black brush and I just come over here and I just hit it where I've got a lot of shading. Of course, this black paint is from Home Depot, y'all, and it's got some water in it. That's what makes that paint move.
Hi, Marcia. Miss Debbie said our connection is so much better tonight.
Okay, good. Debbie, I'm glad you told me that. You know what? And Connie helped me remember. You know what I did, Debbie? I turned off my Wi-Fi, and I just went to straight cell phone data. And you would think that it would be opposite, but I think what's happening is the Wi-Fi is not really wanting to work out here. I am in what used to be our 2-car garage back in the day. So I'm in kind of far away from my office and in the house. So I went ahead tonight and just experimented. So I'm glad Debbie said that. Kind of have to help remember just to make sure that we just go straight cell phone data and forget the Wi-Fi. And I would think it would be the other way. But what do I know, y'all? Maybe not much other than painting.
How's y'all's week been? Y'all had a good week? Did you have a good weekend?
Today I went to Conroe, and guess who I saw? I saw my girls, Carly Faye and Oakley Ray.
And Carson's fixing to start school, isn't she? That's just crazy.
They took Carly out for the afternoon, Ashley and Zach. So Bruce and I babysat a little bit.
Hi, Melody.
A little bit. So I babysat Oakley Ray today. I have to say, she was so good. She just slept a lot, and then she'd wake up and look at me, and she would laugh and giggle, and then she'd go back to sleep. She's just a happy baby. Just a happy
Who wouldn't be happy in that household?
Yeah, getting parents just falling all over themselves to take care of.
And big sissy.
Which is what you're supposed to do.
Do y'all have the kiddos ready for back to school? How's all that
I
going?
bet that's what are y'all doing that? Because I can tell, isn't it tax-free weekend?
It is.
Yeah, tax-free weekend. I think that helps. I mean, I don't think it's gonna make all your financial pains go away. But hey, every little bit helps.
Miss Donna wants to know what kind of wood you use.
I use MDO, medium density overlay signboard material.
Hi Gina. You get this in a lumber yard.
Yeah.
You won't find it
or
in...
a sign supply company. Like Grimco, somebody like that. If you can't find that, you're just going to have to go plywood and make sure you seal your edges really well.
And we use this because it makes our pieces last outdoors 10 or 15 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing a lot of laser stuff lately, but our first love is our yard art. So this is out in the yard, so we use MDO for that. Hi Linda.
Okay, y'all, I have not been on this live that long, and we are almost done. I'm going to try to come down here and just do some black strokes wherever I think I don't have enough. Now, Connie, I'm really glad Connie's in here because you're fixing to see something. Connie's got that camera angle thing good. And in the next, 30 to 60 seconds, I want you to watch what happens to this piece.
Can we turn this around and face it my way?
Can.
Okay.
We sure can. That'll be a better view for y'all to look at it that way. So what I'm going to tell you, and anybody who's watched me any length of time already knows this, but just watch.
Hi Stephanie.
In just that little bit of time, I took my piece from kind of dark to a lot of highlights, making it look a little bit brighter. Now, if you don't like the white highlights, you don't have to put that on there. I noticed I got a bobo right here because I messed up. I'm gonna cover that up. I got some green on there earlier and I didn't want to. And that's it, y'all. It's basically, I base coated this whole thing. If I remember right, I base coated the whole thing gray. Then I base coated the whole thing red. And then all I did was come on here and put the white, the green, the yellow, the black. That's all I did. And you can see we have a pretty good looking piece. It'll be tomorrow. I'll come in here and look at these letters. It's very possible I'll put some more white on my lettering. Very possible. I'll look at it in the morning and see what I think. But this is this is the non-lighted version, but we have the lighted version and we have this version. Either way.
Hi Judy. We think it's great as well. And I'm just
pretty.
showing them the letters you guys are already
Uh-huh.
etched. And there were 3 places that you'll be able to find this video in just a little bit. It was YouTube, Facebook,
and yardartarrest.com. So when you go buy this, like if you buy it online, now if you go to the store, it doesn't apply, but if you buy this online, you'll go to the listing, and when I upload this, it'll be there, and you can look
That's
at the video.
amazing.
Yeah.
Where else can you go that you buy the listing and right there you have a tutorial showing you exactly how to
now,
do
if
it?
it's a tutorial that I did in the academy, those are private tutorials, so they are not uploaded to, they stay in the private group in the academy. They're not uploaded to YouTube or to yardartarrest.com.
And then we've got some questions. Miss Nan wants to know, are you going to outline the letters?
No. That is a good question, Nan. I'm glad you said that. Here's the deal with outlining letters, and I'm not saying that you couldn't and they would look good. Every time I do it, they don't look good. What happens is you start putting paint on this outside, then all of your white starts recessing too far back in there. I don't like that. So no, I don't outline my letters. But if you can, and part of it is because I have such a heavy hand. You see when I paint, I have wide strokes. So if I come along and I try to outline these letters, and I've got these big outlines around my letters, it doesn't look good. But that's a good question. Very good question.
Hey, Kitty.
Thanks for hanging out with us, and I'm so appreciative that Con has such a great camera person, y'all.
Y'all, she don't have anybody else. Don't be fooled. I don't think she's got, people.
Hey, looky here. Con is a good camera person, so therefore
she's the only one we got, so she's our best.
So she's the best one we got. Y'all take care and have a good Sunday evening or whatever's left of your weekend, and happy Monday, y'all.
We hope you guys have a relaxing evening. Bye-bye.
See y'all later.